evening, everybody. I am Grace Oluwatosin Adebayo, and I want to especially appreciate Mrs. Deborah Oluwakayode for giving us this platform and opportunity. Thank you very much, ma. God bless you. Thank you so much for encouraging me. You are part of those who are encouraging me on this new app. Thank you so much, ma. God bless you and your household. Thank you, ma. First of all, I'll start by saying God has been faithful in my journey as a person with disability. First of all, let me give a brief history of my disability. At the age of 2, I was sick. My parents were far in the northern part of Nigeria, Jigawa State precisely, Kazare. And then I got sick. After some days, I was taken to the hospital and I was injected. And after the injection, I was brought back home. And the following day, I stopped walking on my feet. And it's been over 30 years now, by God's grace, that I've been like that. But before getting to this journey, so far, at some point when I was younger, I didn't really feel the pain of living with disability. I didn't really face the challenges of living with disabilities, of living with a disability, until I started my teenage journey. And then, I started having friends. My friends would go out, and then I can't follow them. My siblings would go out. I'll be the only one at home. And, I started asking questions. I started asking myself questions like, okay, so is this how you're going to live your life? Is this how disability is going to keep you just on the spot? Then what is going to come out of my life as a person with disability? First of all, I want to say God has been faithful in my journey. Before I came online to start sharing my story, at first, when I was introduced to Facebook, the first profile picture I used was just my head, like a passport. So I had friends back then online, but none of them knew about my disability, except for a few people who were chatting me, and I'll tell them, okay, I'm a person with disability. Some stayed and some left because they felt, oh, so you're a person with disability, you understand. So at the point, and something that challenged me to later upload my full picture was when a friend told me that people with disabilities on social media do not post their full pictures, they only post their head. And by God's grace, after my surgery in 2016, I had a knee surgery to correct my bent knees. At least since then, I was able to I've been able to stand to an extent and support myself without having to ask somebody to help me. And then I posted my pictures online. I think that was 2019. That was when I posted my full picture online, and my DM was full. People were coming to ask me different kind of questions. Oh, sister, what happened? How? I didn't know you are in this. I didn't know this. Some were even recommending places to go to for me to get my legs back. But since then, God gave me confidence. Before now, I was a very timid person. I don't relate with people. I'm always scared of of people who would relate with me. I'm just on my own. Back then I was on my own. But thank God for grace and confidence. And I'm going to use this opportunity to appreciate my parents, my dad and my mom. They inspired me, and God used them to build my confidence. Even if I feel that back then I was ashamed of my identity, my parents would always tell people about me. There are parents with children with disabilities that now they hide their children. They don't want people to know that they have a child with disability. They are ashamed of that child's identity. So they keep them away from people, they keep them away from family. But even before meeting me, if you have not met me before, my dad would have told you about me. Oh, I have a daughter. Her name is Grace. Ah, she's doing this. She's doing that. This is her condition. He won't say anything bad about me. He's always trying to tell people anything good about me. He wants to say it loud to the world. And by the time you'll be meeting me, oh, is this the person? You mean you're in this condition and your dad is talking so much about you in that manner? So it gave me confidence, by God's grace. It gave me confidence. And then I started sharing my story online. I started sharing my story online gradually. And when I noticed that what actually inspired me actually after God is the fact that I thought of it that if I can be going through this kind of situation as a person with disability, then there are other people out there who are also in this situation that I know that if I'm able to speak out and share some of the experience, some of my own experiences, this will help them to speak and also get a solution to the problem. And also help them to get a solution to the problem. Like there was a time that I shared a story about I think about persons with disabilities going to church, and then how some churches would treat them. Then a friend of mine online commented and said he stopped going to church as a person with disability who is hearing impaired because of the questions they asked him even before entering the church, and because he doesn't get he doesn't get the information in the church. And from there I met a lot of people like me, who have lots of questions in them, challenges that they cannot share, that they think that if I share this thing, I'm going to look odd, it's going to sound odd. But having someone like you who is also going through that kind of situation would help them to be able to share freely, to share their problem freely and get a solution. Okay, like recently I was also talking about something, I think getting a job for a person with disability or something like that. And then a person with disability, a lady told me, she said that she's not happy with the fact that she didn't get trained in any skill after I think okay, was it after school also, that she's not feeling good about it because first of all it is affecting her right now as a person with disability. So if I'm able to share my own problem, other people like me who are also going through that would be able to come out and talk. Then I started sharing my own side of the story as a person with disability. Maybe when I share stories, I share other stories that are general issues. I see people coming, talking about the same thing and also relating with what I have written down. So I feel happy and blessed. And most times, this is not as if I'm prepared to have them written down or posted. But when the inspiration comes from God, I do it. And by God's grace, most times it is a blessing to myself and everyone who would come close to that quote. I hope I've been able to answer your question, ma'am. Okay.